It's nice to be here, running for Congress, as all of you know, against my opponent, Manon Trivedi. This is the first time we've had the opportunity to be in the same room, and I must say that we do have at least one thing in common, and that is an affinity for light blue ties.
You were supposed to wear the red one.
Nothing wrong with, that's right. Nothing wrong with a nice light blue tie on a joyous spring afternoon. 6 inches of rain decided to stop. I'm a lifelong resident of Chester County, and my parents were both at one time public school teachers. I was a graduate of Ellen J. Roberts High School. I went to Ursinus College, which is actually in the Congressional District in western Montgomery County, and then graduated from Villanova Law School, and then began at a law firm in Pottstown. I am a member, or have been a member, at various times of the Tri-County Area Chamber of Commerce, the Phoenixville Area Chamber of Commerce, and the Chester County Chamber of Business and Industry, and think I can say with a good degree of confidence that I understand the importance of small businesses and the role that Chamber of Commerce's play in the various local economies throughout the 6th Congressional District. I might also say that as a county commissioner, what I have tried to do throughout my tenure is make sure that we are doing the workforce development and infrastructure planning and creating as many synergies as we can, so that if you are a small business in Chester County, you wake up in the morning and you say, my government's working for me, they're not getting in my way. And I think the one thing that a lot of business owners feel right now is that the government isn't necessarily working for them. At times it feels like the government may be working against them. And that's not a good feeling to have when you're risking capital and you're spending time and you're making what you think are prudent investments for the growth of your company, for the sustainability of your company. And you're in an environment where there continues to be uncertainty, whether it relates to tax rates, whether it relates to underwriting standards. You know, you apply for a loan and then halfway through, some new requirement pops out that you need to comply with. And those are not the sort of things that we in government should be promoting. In fact, what we should be doing is trying to get government out of the way in certain respects. I think we can all appreciate that there is a role for government in all of our lives, whether you're talking about public safety, public health, infrastructure, national security, obviously, and there's a lot of other reasons why we have government. But what we don't want is a government that ultimately thinks that they know more about how to run small business than all of you. And so as I tour the district, and I certainly will also make the offer of availing myself to any opportunity to tour any of your small businesses, that is a common theme. And I think that it's probably something that everyone in this room has experienced at one time or another. I want to share a few facts with you about a program that all of you are familiar with, and that's the SCORE. All you know that that's a volunteer small business advisory type organization, and last year was the 50th anniversary of SCORE. There was a significant growth in workshops in Chester County, 99 last year. The year previous was 75. The number of volunteer hours in Chester County last year for SCORE was over 14,000. So over 14,000 hours were contributed by bankers, lawyers, accountants, consultants, all the way down the line, flower shop owners. Across the board, small business owners take time out of their day to help other businesses get started. And the point that I'm looking to make right here is this. Alexis de Tocqueville, right, philosopher of the 1800s, came over to America, and the one thing that he mentioned about our democracy was that there is a volunteer spirit and an ethos about the way our country is run that is uniquely American. And I feel one of the things that we need to get back to as a country is speaking about and celebrating the volunteer element of our society, whether it's in the nonprofit sector with helping people out, or whether it's in the business community with helping things out. Government has a role, but government shouldn't try and do everything for everyone, because when we start creating big government programs, what usually happens is things become oftentimes more costly, they become more confusing, and it doesn't work out the way that it sounds like it should work out. And I think we can all point to a couple examples within the past few years where that's the case. And so I think it's incumbent upon all of us to understand and speak to what we should be doing as a country in our federal government and what we should be doing in our communities to help our small businesses. And that's what you'll hear more about from me throughout this campaign. Finally, let me say that if you are a Chester County resident, I hope that you find the way that your government works for you at the municipal level and at the county level is something that you're proud of, whether it's our environmental initiatives or whether it's the way we deliver health and human services to those in need in the community. I think you'll find that I have always been someone who is reasonable, tries to work with everyone, and is proud to serve all of you. You are my boss, not the other way around, and I think it's important that you make sure politicians know that. With that, I don't want to speak much longer than my opponent did. I think I might even spoke another minute or two longer than him already, so I will shut it down now. Thank you for the opportunity to the Exton Chamber for allowing me to speak here. I will also note last week we did a ribbon cutting with the Exton Chamber up in Ludwig's Corner, and it's always a nice thing when you see businesses start up and grow in Chester County. We have a wonderful community. We all should be proud of where we live and the businesses that we work for. Thank you very much.